Hello my friends, Ahsoka the Geek here, and for this review we're going to take an advanced look at the McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse Armored Batman from Kingdom Come. Now, first of all, big thanks to the fine folks at McFarlane Toys for sending me this figure for review. It's not out quite yet. I think the tentative release date was March. I imagine it's going to be out a lot sooner than that if they're already sending some samples for review. First of all, let's take a look at the box. Standard McFarlane packaging. There is the beautiful trading card that it comes with, which I will definitely be keeping. I love Alex Ross, obviously. There's the figure. There's the art that the figure is based on. And yeah, I already took him out of the package, so let's start talking about the figure itself. So first of all, wow. This is just a beautiful figure. It is true to the comic book. It looks amazing, and I think they hit it out of the park. So it's really nice just to see a really one-to-one translation from the comic book. There's a few things that are a little bit different that I've noticed and other people will point out. We'll get to that in a minute. But for the most part, this is exactly what it looks like in the comic book. Down to the face, the suit, it's just like a one-to-one translation. And you can see over there to the left of what he wore in the comic book. Now, he did not wear this suit for long in the comic book. It made a huge impact, but he really only wears it, I think, for a few panels, really. So you don't have a ton to go on as far as what it's supposed to look like. And that's where we get into the differences, which we'll talk about next or in a moment. But yeah, let's take him off his little stand. First of all, I haven't been able to get him to stand without the stand. So, oh, well, there you go. I guess it wasn't that hard. So yeah, he is standing without the stand. So there he is with his wings fully deployed. Now the wings themselves, they don't really, you can't really collapse them. You know, they fold, as you can see, like so, which I love. I love the shininess of them. But they don't have like a double fold or another set of hinges here to fold it any further, like the Hellbat. So there is that. But so if you display this with the wings attached, then it is going to take up a bit of shelf space just because of how large the wings are. Now they do come removed in the packaging, and you attach them there with these hinges, which are silver, as Mr. Rob D. Toys pointed out. And then you just snap them right on. And this piece here, the actual jetpack, you can't really take it off. It is attached to the figure, so you can't remove it, which is, it would have been cool to be able to remove it, I think, just so you can display it without the jetpack and the wings a little bit more easily on the shelf. But that's a nitpick. And then one of the differences that I do notice, and actually I didn't even notice this, someone on Twitter pointed it out, is the jetpack. So in the comic book, you never really see the back of the wings and what the jetpack looks like. You see a few exhaust valves, but you don't really see what the jetpack looks like. And here, they basically did the Rocketeer's jetpack. This is literally the Rocketeer's jetpack. I actually have a Rocketeer figure, and I am going to bring that out in the next segment to kind of compare and contrast how much it looks like the Rocketeer. But you know what? I love the Rocketeer, and I think this jetpack looks amazing, so I'm totally cool with this. Now, getting into the rest of the figure, so there is the beautiful head sculpt. This is, again, one-to-one, straight from the comic books. Looks fantastic. I'm sure people will find some discrepancies, but for my observation here, it looks just like the comic book. The logo is fantastic. The simplicity of the suit, and I really like. I am a fan of McFarlane doing his McFarlane twist on DC figures, and even giving classic figures a sort of modern, different take. But for this one, I'm sure glad that he stuck to the comic books, because you really can't beat Alex Ross's design work. This is just amazing. So there's the figure. Alex Ross actually based some of this suit off RoboCop, if I have my Kingdom Come history correct. So the arms do look a little RoboCop-ish, as they should be. There's the rest of the figure there. Now, as far as articulation go, you are limited a bit here, because this is a very armored figure. And even in the comic book, he doesn't move around that much, and this figure does not move around that much, which I am actually glad, because if they added more unnecessary articulation, I think it would have really distracted from this beautiful sculpt. This is, just a beautiful figure. It's like Wow, this is going to be one of my favorite Batman figures. I have the DC Direct version, and I will show that in the next segment as well. But I think this one is going to be my favorite Kingdom Come version. Yeah, look at this. There he is. All right, so let's go ahead and compare this next to the DC version, the DC Direct version, to see some differences. All right, my friends. So here is the DC Direct version on the left and the McFarlane version on the right. So taking a closer look at the DC Direct versions, first of all, his wing is so freaking fragile. As you can see, the little pipes or the exhausts that used to be attached to this have all broken off because it was just so flimsy. And even the cape, or not the cape, the wings, these little pegs that hold it together, super flimsy. It's always breaking apart. So yeah, the wings kind of suck on this guy. I mean, this is a super old figure, probably pushing 15 to 20 years old. So this wasn't constructed the best, in my opinion. So I'm going to put this to the side instead of fiddling with it. I'm just looking at the figure itself. My ears always bend. But DC Direct did a fantastic job with this figure as well. This is, again, straight out of the comic book. But if you look at the McFarlane version, I mean, it's pretty dang close. This is when you actually are super comic book accurate. DC Direct and McFarlane are both comic book accurate in this situation. And I do like the shininess on the DC Direct version here a little bit more on the body. But I give this to McFarlane, honestly. I like the way this one feels. The wings are way more stable and not as flimsy. I love the jetpack on the back. I do like on this one that you can detach the wing. But of course the wing isn't exactly that sturdy. So as you just saw a few moments ago, how it kind of broke apart pretty easily. So yeah, the DC Direct one is still fantastic. Still a fantastic sculpt. But I definitely have to give this one to McFarlane just because I think this is just sculpted a little bit better, honestly. You have a little bit more mobility. I mean, the DC Direct one is basically a statue, which is fine. It's a beautiful looking statue. But yeah, I definitely got to give this one to McFarlane. So there it is. In my next segment, let's go ahead and take a look at this guy next to the Rocketeer just to take a look at the jetpacks. All right, sorry about that, a little camera issue there for a moment. But here is the NECA Rocketeer backpack and the Rocketeer figure, which is a fantastic figure, by the way. I love the Rocketeer movie, so great figure. Anyways, so there you go. You can see the similarities between the McFarlane Armored Batman backpack and the Rocketeer. So I want to say that the sculptor was probably inspired by the Rocketeer's backpack, or maybe Alex Ross was inspired. I'm just not aware that the backpack is supposed to look like this. But either way, I'm not complaining. These look great. These are both great backpacks. And if Alex Ross did base his backpack, or the sculptor who sculpted this figure was inspired by the Rocketeer, who cares? It looks fantastic. I think it's just wanted to show you this, but it looks pretty cool. So there they are. There's the Rocketeer and Batman together. Look at that. I wish they made more movies about this, but what are you going to do? All right, up next, let's take a look at the Armored Batman next to a few other figures. All right, so here is the new Armored Batman in the center, next to the Three Jokers Batman and the DC Direct JSA Kingdom Come Superman. This is like my favorite Superman figure, and I just love that. It looks pretty good next to this Batman. This Batman is definitely bigger than old Supes, but yeah, I think he looks great on the shelf. Hopefully, up next, we'll get a McFarlane version of this figure. That would be awesome. Let's get Superman out of the way there. So, yeah, oh, look at that, how he snatched it. So, yeah, there you go. These guys look pretty good together. The new Batman is definitely bigger than the Three Jokers Batman even, which makes sense because he's wearing armor. So, there you go. All right, guys, final thoughts. This is a fantastic figure. If you're a fan of Kingdom Come and Alex Ross, this is the Batman figure for you. If you're just a Batman fan, this is the figure for you. Just love everything about it. Even love the ears. I think they're not going to bend like my DC Direct version. It just looks phenomenal. So yeah, there he is. As always, I'm going to have more about this figure on my Instagram. I will have some more, content there. So head on over to my Instagram, Ahsoka the Geek on Instagram. And please let me know what you think about this figure in the comments below. Once again, big thanks to the folks at McFarlane Toys for sending me this phenomenal figure for review. Hope you enjoyed this. Thanks so much, and take care.